Hello, welcome to another one of Big Man's videos. How we all doing? Hope everybody's well, everybody's happy, and everybody's having a fantastic day so far. Now, today we're back on to my number 2 video, which is how to improve, how to achieve the perfect health. Now, this video is going to be how to nourish your body, and if you remember my last video, it was how to avoid toxins. So we're going to carry on from that. But before I begin, I would just like to say a big, huge thank you to everybody out there who's supporting me, everybody out there who's watching me, who's messaging me and appreciating everything I'm doing. And I hope this information is giving you a new perspective on life and actually improving your life, improving your health, and making sure that you're going to live a long and happy life without any illnesses. So, video number 2 will be nourish your body. Now, before we begin, I do have my book in front of me. I will be flicking through pages and that because I've got a lot of notes. So please, if I'm looking away or if I'm reading, I'm just catching up with myself because there's a lot of information I'm trying to get out to people. There's a lot of facts, a lot of everything that you're going to need to just boost yourself up basically. So if I do look away, I'm just having a little quick read, refreshing my memory so I can then promote this onto you. Okay, so most of our calories we will get come from protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, these are classed as macronutrients. Now, we also get vitamins and minerals from food, but because these don't give us calories, these are classed as micronutrients. Now, for the last 70, 80 years or so, um, the American Heart Association and the British Heart Foundations and all of this and other misguided companies who are pharmaceutically endorsed have been saying to us that we should not be eating so much fat, we should not be eating so much carbohydrates. There's so much diets out there. Fats are going to lead to obesity, it's going to lead to heart disease, heart attacks, liver failures, kidney failures, things like that. And the problem is with this is they are putting all macronutrients in the same box. So all proteins, all fats, all carbohydrates, they're putting on the same level. Instead of looking at it as in, oh, there is good fats out there, there is good carbohydrates, and there is good proteins out there. They've just decided, no, all macronutrients are bad. Now, to me, that's stupid. Yeah, it's like saying that all food is bad, when it's entirely not the case. So, because of this, I wanted to clear up a few facts and a few stigmas that's been happening in the world over these last 70, 80 years since the 1950s, since all this started to be put onto our plates that this is bad for you and that's bad for you and this is good for you, but that's not really good for you, this isn't really bad for you, so you shouldn't be doing that, you should be doing this. So I decided, right, we'll sort this out, we'll come on here, we'll clear up a few facts, a few fictions, and we'll move on with it. So, to start with, dieting people have been saying that you should not be eating fats. You should have a low fat diet, and this is going to help with your heart. This is going to help with your obesity. This is going to help with this and that. Now, that sounded right. That makes sense. But there is an argument out there that comes from one other side of the thing that how can you explain the Inuit people? Because the Inuit people get 90% of their calories from fat. And those people have the lowest obesity and the lowest heart disease and the lowest digestive diseases. And then you think, okay, what about the Mayans? The Maasai people of Africa. Now they get 75% of their protein from, the calories from fats. And again, these people are free from obesity, these are free from heart diseases, and free from digestive illnesses. And then you must think, and what about the modern French? The most healthiest industrialized country in the world, free from obesity, free from heart defects, from heart disease, but consume the most saturated fats anywhere else on the planet. So how can these people be all fit and healthy, but they eat the meats and the fats and everything else that we've been told is bad for us. Now, the carb people, the ones that say no, you have to have a low carb diet, they know these facts, and they've been using these facts to promote the low carb diet and the high fat diet. So a low carb diet, well, you could think of the Kitawans, or the Kuna Indians of Panama, or even the Okinawans of Japan, who all get 70% of their calorie intake from carbohydrates. And just like the Maasais and the Inuits and the French, they have the lowest counts of obesity, heart disease, liver diseases, digestive diseases, anywhere else on the planet. Now, so how can eating the wrong kind of fat, well, eating fat, cause illnesses if these people who only eat it, well, at least 90% of them only eat it, 90% of the calories, I mean, don't have these effects? How is it that staying away from the fats and going onto a carbohydrate diet, how come these people don't have the same illnesses as what they're telling us that you shouldn't be eating? So these are all alarm bells that kick off. These are all made up stuff, because they've all took the macronutrients, put into one pile and says all this is bad for you, when they shouldn't be doing that. They should be looking at it as in, okay, all macronutrients are this. Now, what exactly is bad for you and what exactly isn't bad for you? Let's investigate that. Instead of just coming up and saying, right, all fats are bad, stay away from fats, fats will kill you, fats are going to make you fat, fats are going to give you heart disease, fats are going to make you ill, they're going to give you digestive problems, it's going to lead to other conditions, and basically it's going to kill you. When it's a complete lie, when you look at the people who are mostly eating the fats or mostly eating carbohydrates only. Those people are healthy. I mean, even Okinawans. The Okinawans in Japan, of the islands of Okinawa, are the oldest living generation of people on this planet. And all they do is eat 75% of the calorie intake through carbohydrates. And they're the oldest people on the planet. Not the oldest generations, but they live to be the oldest. Without any illnesses, without any diseases, without any infections that's going to cause them to get cancers, to get bloody Parkinson's disease, motor neurons disease, autoimmune disease. These people are healthier than anybody else. All of these people. And they all consist on diets of fats. And they all consist on diets of carbohydrates. So why are we being lied to? Why are we told that this is what you should be eating and this is not what you should be eating? Why are we told that all macronutrients are bad? This is what I want to come on here to talk about. So, with this information that you now have, you can see that a high fat or a high carb diet is not necessarily bad for you. What it is we're just told it's bad for us, so we believe it. So then, this is what we're doing now. But we're still developing so many illnesses, so many diseases, so many conditions of our body that's killing us. So maybe more research needs to be done into this. But that's not for me to say. I'm just here to point out this information. Simple as that. Excuse me one sec. So, if we can move away from the group of macronutrients ratio and change that into nutritional benefits, maybe there'd be more of an eye opener out there. Maybe they could say, right, this group of here is bad for you, but this group here is good for you. So stay away from the bad, stick with the good. But they won't do that. They would just say that macronutrients in a whole, don't stay away from them. Now, you all understand a saying that is, you are what you eat. If you think of your body as a car, or if you just think of a car itself, now you think of a car as it's a petrol engine, gasoline engine, or it's a diesel engine. Now, if you put diesel in a petrol car, or vice versa, it may run for a while. Not so good performance, and eventually it will break. It's same as our bodies. If we are putting the wrong stuff into our body, eventually it's going to break. It's going to have some bad issues, and it's going to lead to making us die. Now, this is a fact. We all know that. If you eat constantly the same thing over and over again for every day, your health is going to need to drop. This is why we need to mix it up. This is why we need to do fruits, vegetables, greens, meats, dairy, things like that. It has to be done. We have to mix it up. We can't just stick with one diet, because we won't get what we need. Now, what is it that we need to maintain a well-oiled machine? What it is we need to do is realise exactly what we are eating. So I've got a wee list of some fats. Then I've got a list of some carbohydrates and some fibres. Okay? Because this is what it's all broken down into. Now, I'm going to read from a book here. Good fats could be long chain saturated fats. Now you might have heard, whoa, saturated fats. But long chain saturated fats are natural fats. Now, these are found in beef and lamb. They form the core structure of fats in the body. 75 to 8% of fatty acids in our cells, which is the primary storage of energy. So eating long chain saturated fats are good for us. They provide us with energy, and it's also 80%, 75 to 8% of all our cells. So this is good. This is good meat. This is good stuff. This is what we need. Simple as that. Medium chain tricycle oils, or whatever that big huge word is found in your mother's milk. When you're born and you're breastfed, this chemical is in your mother's milk, and it's also in coconut. Now, coconut is an amazing thing. It's one of the only foods, in fact, I do believe it is the only food on the planet that your body can digest without using stomach acid or bile acid. That's how good it is. It can actually, your body can break it down with no need for any acid or stomach whatsoever. And it automatically gets broken down, passes through your portal vein, straight through to your liver. It's a massive source of energy, massive source of vitamins, and it's extremely good for you. Now, monosaturated fats. Now, these are found in beef, olive oil, avocados, macadamia nuts. Great food, full of nutrients, full of vitamins. But you can't eat a lot of it. You can't eat a lot of it because it contains omega-6. Now, omega-6 is also found in fruit and vegetables and cereals and everything else. Now, it's only in small amounts in those, so it's not so dangerous. But because avocados are extremely high in omega-6, we can eat them, we can enjoy them, but take it rationally. Now, if you don't know what omega-6, because you've probably heard of omega-3 oils, this is what we get from the fish and marine life and even animal life as well. Omega-6 is extremely bad. It creates free radicals. Now, free radicals will create issues in your system, in your body, and eventually it can lead to cancers and heart disease and high blood pressures, and basically omega-6 will kill us if we eat too much of it. So these are some of the things you need to stay away from. Processed food. Now, I know what you're thinking. Processed food, here we go again. Not all processed food is bad for you. Yeah. But processed food that contains oils like soybean oil, sunflower oil, saffron oil, cornstarch, corn oil, these are extremely bad for you. Now, I have mentioned in my last video about the toxins. One of the main toxins in the planet is soya. Now, I know you're thinking it's been promoted as health and everything else, which is true if it's fermented, if it is at that stage where it's been eliminated from all the toxins. But we are not doing that. We are adding soya to our foods. Well, not us ourselves, but the manufacturers are adding soya to the foods to make it look more luxurious. I mean, if you think about it, when you go to a supermarket or something like that, and you're looking at, say, mince, for instance, it's very, very pink in colour, it's looking lovely and delicious, it's what you want. Unfortunately, meat doesn't act like that. Meat, when it's ground and it's left for a while, will turn brown. These meat packets are on the shelves in these supermarkets or stores or whatever. They've been lying there for at least 3 or 4 days and they're still very pink. And they've lying there for at least a few more days and they're still very pink because they've got added stuff to them to keep them pink. I mean, you go to the butcher shop, he's ground up something fresh today. It's a lovely pinky colour, you can see everything in it and it looks nice. Next day, that is brown. It's the same with bread. I mean, you go to the shop, you think, oh, I love the bread, boom, put in the cupboard, there you go. That's done you, a couple of slices every day, whatever it is you're going to eat. You've got a family, boom, boom, boom. After a couple, say 5, 6, 7 days, you'll be into your last couple of slices of bread, which is still quite fresh. Bread shouldn't last this long. You buy bread from the baker, you take it home, within 2 days, it's hard. It's hard, it's starting to go stale, even if you keep it wrapped up, it's starting to go bad. Bread from a supermarket, from a store, from the local shops, that's all manufactured, has added things in it to make sure it's going to last longer. And these added things in it are oils. It could be soy oil, could be storn oil, could be sunflower oil, saffron oil. This is what is keeping it alive, basically. And this is what makes it bad for us. Now, processed oils and processed food and all that stuff, they are in almost everything. Now, they're not all bad for you. I mean, if you're taking it in moderation, I mean, for instance, it's in salad dressing, it's in potato chips, it's in crackers, it's in restaurant food, it's in takeaway food. If you're not eating a takeaway food every day, good. If you're eating it once a week, it's fine. If you're eating crisps once a week, it's fine. These things work because your body can then deal with it in the system. It can then force it out. It can break it down. It can get rid of it and then heal itself because that's what we all know our bodies can do. So processed foods, they're not bad for you if you eat them in moderation. Right? Try and stay away from so much. Try and eat more butcher meat, more. If you really are desperate for crisps, snacks like that, you can make your own. It's not as hard as what you think. I mean, thinly slice up potatoes, throw them in the oven, cook them, a little bit of salt, perfect. Unlike the oils and everything else that's added to these things. Now, trans fats. You may have heard of this, you may not have heard of this. Trans fats you should avoid like the plague. These are artificial fats added. I mean, these are the fats that's added to like chickens and beef and steaks and that stuff that makes it look big, makes it look nice and fat, nice and juicy. These are bad. This stuff will kill you. This is what the Heart Foundation and all that are going on about. This is the macronutrients that they are telling you to avoid. These things are killers. This is why we now have a massive rate of cancers in this world, massive rate of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and autism and every other kind of disease that you can think of. This is why celiac disease and all this stuff is coming out now, because of all this trans fats. That is not good for you. It is extremely bad for you. But people don't want a flat looking, old looking chicken. People want something that looks huge, lovely, that looks tasty. I want that. Simple. I'm the same. But trans fats are only bad if you eat a lot of it. Same with everything else. All this effects will only happen if you are constantly eating this kind of food. Now, let's just say you went out and you got yourself a chicken, one of these trans fat chickens. You had that Then you say, right, tomorrow I'm going to have a takeaway. And then while I'm having a takeaway, I'm going to eat some loads of crisps, drink a load of juice, have some crackers, have this, that. Next game day, I fancy chicken again because it was really nice. Sounds like a normal day or a normal week. Sounds like a normal diet. Give yourself time. Give yourself a couple of years. You'll start to notice how bad this stuff is that you're eating. You'll start to realise that my health's gone down. I'll need to go to the doctors. The doctor's going to give you pharmaceuticals. These pharmaceuticals are going to do even more damage to you. You're going to go back to the doctors. You're going to keep doing this. And this is going to be your daily routine from now on. There is no improvement over it. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm going to move on to carbs. Now, carbohydrates are broken down into either undigestible fibers, glucose, or fructose. Now, glucose is a simple sugar. It's found in most plant food. When I say plant food, I mean like vegetables, fruits, beans, corn, wheat, things like that. And it has three main uses in the body. It forms structure molecules, it's a source of energy, and it plays an important part in your immune system. Now, you probably know about the juice Lucozade, which it says it's full of glucose, high in sugars, it's good for you. Now, if you've been on a night out, you've been drinking quite a lot, Lucozade will sort you out, because it does. It does pick you up your energy levels, it picks up your immune system, it boosts back sugar into your system, and this is what Lucozade is good for. Years ago, Lucozade, I remember, like I'm almost 45 now, and I remember Lucozade, you couldn't buy it in the shops. If you wanted a bottle of Lucozade, you would go to the pharmacy or the chemist. These are the people that would sell it. Which is like years ago, I don't know if anybody knows about Buckfast. Buckfast is a good drink, it's alcoholic, but you could only get that in chemists back in the days because it's medicinal purposes. It was like it's a tonic, and this was the same as Lucozade. You couldn't buy it anywhere else except for that. Then it got mass produced, it got more and more popular, and now it's on shops everywhere, and it's like Lucozade Energy, Lucozade this, Lucozade Tropical, everything else. But because it contains glucose, it is good for you. But you should never need this because you should be getting enough glucose from your fruits and vegetables anyway. So, but I can understand after a night out drinking and you think, oh, I need my glucose levels up. Go get yourself a bottle of that. It sorts you out. Simple as that. Now, fructose. Fructose is completely different. Fructose is actually dangerous. Now, it impairs the composition of your blood lipids. It raises bad cholesterol levels. It leads to fat accumulation, or fat accumulation, that would be completely different. Fat accumulation around your liver, kidneys, heart, everything else. It does lead to heart disease and high blood pressure levels and heart attacks as well, because obviously it's cholesterol, it's blocking your arteries and everything else. So, and then of course you've got fibre. Now, fibre is no use to us whatsoever, basically. It's non-digestible. Basically, we eat fibre just to compound all toxins together in our body, all rubbish, just so we can pass it through us in a solid form. This way, we don't just constantly have water coming out of us. It's as simple as that. But there is two different types of fibre. There is a soluble fibre, fermented fibre, and the undigestible fibre. Fibre that does nothing just except to combine everything. Now, unfortunately, fibre is quite bad for us. Unless it's on the good side of the soluble stuff or the fermented side, then it works in harmony with the trillions and trillions of bacteria that we already have in our gut. Now, we all should know, well, I hope everybody should know, that we do have good bacteria. I mean, a few years ago, I don't know if it's still in the market or not, but there was a small yogurt drink out called Yakult. Now, this was all about good bacteria for your gut and then promoting that. This was good, until people found out how it was made. And then I don't think it's on the shelves anymore because when people found out how it was made, uh, they decided, I'm not eating that or drinking that. This is wrong. I mean, if you don't know how it was made, basically, a sewer treatment plant would clean poo, and the clean poo would emit uh, micronutrients from it, which was like superflora, which was good bacteria, and this good bacteria would then be extracted and put into a yogurt drink, would make it an active thing. You would drink it, and it would be putting good bacteria into your body. It was basically made that way. People heard and went, wait a minute, I'm eating something that used to be poo. I'm not eating that anymore. Well, I do believe so. I mean, I haven't seen it on the shelf for a while, so I'm guessing this is why. And I do remember watching that program that was about you are what you eat, and it was explaining how this was made. So I'm guessing a lot more people made it, and maybe people just thought, wait a minute. So this could be one of the cases. I'm not too sure. Maybe it is still on sale. I'm not too sure. But this is what I remember about it, and I remember seeing it everywhere, and I don't see it so much anymore. So maybe that's not the case. So anyway, like I was saying, this is why we should know that there is trillions and trillions and trillions of good bacteria in our systems, in our bodies, and we need this good bacteria because it helps to digest our foods, helps to eliminate bad toxins, and it helps to our body just to work in normal process. So when we eat the fibre, which is not good bacteria, it fights with our normal, and if we eat too much of the bad fibre, issues start happening in your gut. But if you substitute for good fermented or soluble fibre, which works in harmony with your bacteria, then you start to feel amazing again. You start to feel good. It starts to promote more and more health for your body, more and more wellness. It wakes you up, it wakes the organs up, it makes you feel alive and young again. But of course, this is not the case at the minute because there's so much of fibre, artificial fibre, which is a waste of our time. Even in what I mentioned in my last video, whole meal, um, it's just not as good for you as what people say it is. So unfortunately, that's how it is. But anyway, I'm going to be done now. I hope this is raised a few bells. I mean, I can't stand to sit here, like I said at the start of the video, I can't sit here and say, oh look, eat this, eat that, this as well, it's fine, and that. And then that's it. Don't eat anything else, but just eat that. Because it's impossible to do that. I also can't go out and say, right, you can't eat this and you can't eat that, because I've not done the research on every single food on the market to say that this has trans fats or that hasn't got trans fats, but that's good for you because it's monosaturated fats. I haven't done that, so I'm just hoping that people out there are going to be like, I wonder if this is true what he's saying. I'm going to look into this. Right, I want to have a chicken tonight. Let me have a look. Chicken contains trans fats. I'm not having chicken tonight. I'll get chicken for that, please. This chicken good? Freshly done, all day, sorted, fine. Excellent. Fresh, clean, wholesome, good for me. This is what I'm trying to do. When it comes to other things, like mince from the butchers, mince from the supermarkets, all that stuff, and you think, you know what? I'm going to go to that local butcher in the corner. It might be a little bit more expensive, but I know how much that's good for me. Fruits. I eat about 25 fruit a day. But fruits contain omega-6 and fructose. Maybe this is the reason why I feel like this. Maybe I'll cut that down to like 5 or 6 fruits a day. Because remember, the recommended daily allowance, what they're saying is 5 fruits and veg a day. Now, the chances are that most people don't do that. But if you are one of those people that do it, try not to exceed that. because you don't want to boost up your fructose levels and your omega-6 levels, especially if you're eating other things that contain omega-6. So I can't come on here and tell you exactly what to eat and exactly what not to eat. All I can come on here and give you some information that we've been lied to. Eating fats is not bad for you. Eating carbs is not bad for you. There is proof in thousands and millions of people out there who, like the Inuits, like the Maasais, like the French, who have a high saturated fat diet and are healthier than what me and you are. So please, if people are telling you things, research this, listen to it, and you think, right, I'm going to find an argument against that. Find that argument, believe in yourself, and go out there and try something else. Simple as that. So, this is me done for now. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit of a shaky start, I think, but I think we got over everything that I wanted to say. Now, in the first video, avoid toxins, don't eat toxins. Second video, obviously, nourish your body. So, next video, when I come along, hopefully that you'll start to pay more and more attention. And if there's any more feedback, any more recommendations, then please give me a message. But I will be back again very, very soon. I can't give an exact date because obviously life plans and everything else gets a little bit hectic and a little bit busy, but I will be back. And of course, my videos are always on YouTube. I don't think I've sorted out my last video, but I will bang that on and this one on very soon. And I'll leave a description on my Facebook page and on my Instagram page for them. So, from me, I'm out. Have a fantastic time. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy yourself. Nourish your body. Don't eat toxic. Take care. Bye for now.